Hello, Hello students. Welcome to English Classroom. I'm Dr. Suchitra Singh, Assistant Professor of English, VGDC, Vidyanagar. Today we're going to deal with value orientation prescribed for semester 2 by Osmania University for BA, BCom and BSc. Just give me a second. Uh, Right. So, in today's class, we'll deal with two proverbs, that is, practice make perfect and necessity is the mother of invention. Now, before I can go ahead with practice make perfect, I would like to start this practice make perfect proverb with a quotation given by Aristotle. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act but a habit." In that the sense, what he means to say is that we are what we do, that is, whatever we are, it is because of the practice that we do with our behavior or with our profession that we do. If I am good at my teaching profession, it is because of the practice that I have been put in for the past 20 years. And it also says that excellence, therefore, is not an act but a habit. Now, why is this prescribed to you? This is prescribed to you because you should not think that certain people are skilled and only they can do. It is not so. Every one of us can become what you want to become by constant practice. So now I would like to share a video with you all. Please try to bear with me because I'm not very good at technology, but I'll try to share this video with you all, right? Okay.
Only a matter of practice. Long, long ago, in faraway China, there lived an archer called Chen Yaozi. He was a very skilled archer and could perform wonderful feats of archery. Skilled means experienced or good at something. Archer is someone who shoots arrows from a bow. Feats means achievements that require a lot of skill or strength, etc. He could hit the target precisely at the center, even when it was placed at a very long distance. Precisely means exactly. He liked to show off his skill to the admiring crowds that gathered around him. One day, he was practicing his skill in front of many admirers when he noticed an old man standing at the back. The man was carrying gourds of oil that were hanging from a long cane on his shoulder. Gourds means containers made from dried large fruit with a hard skin. All the other people were clapping their hands and praising Chen Yaozi. But this old man was quiet. He neither clapped nor uttered words of praise. Uttered means to give audible expression to or said. He just stood there, nodding his head and said, "It's just a matter of practice." To nod means to shake. Chen Yaozi was annoyed. "Are you an archer yourself? Do you think anyone can do what I can do with my bow and arrows?" Annoyed means angry. "No, sir," the old man replied. "I'm not an archer, and I don't doubt your skill. All I said was, everything's a matter of practice." Chen Yaozi became very angry. What do you know that you pass such thoughtless comments on other people? Who are you? Thoughtless comment means a statement made without thinking. Please don't get angry, sir. I'm an oil seller, as you must have guessed from the goats. Guessed means to form an estimate. Every day, I fill these gourds with oil and sell them. Over the years, I have achieved some skill in filling the gourds. If you allow, I'll show it to you. Growled Chen Yaozi. Everybody was curious to see what would happen next. Growled means to make a low, rough sound, usually in anger. Patiently, the old man set down an empty gourd on the ground. Then he put a small coin on the mouth of the gourd. In those days, small coins had a little hole at the center. Then the old man stood up, took some oil in his ladle, and began to pour oil into the gourd from a height. Ladle is a long-handled spoon having a deep bowl for serving liquids. The oil went straight into the gourd through the hole in the coin. When the old man had finished filling up the gourd, he lifted up the coin. Not a trace of oil could be seen on it. The people watching it were speechless with wonder. Speechless means unable to speak due to surprise or wonder. But the old man only smiled. As I said, there's nothing special about it. It's only a matter of practice, you see. Chen Yaozi lost all his anger and annoyance. He just gave a short laugh and said, "You have taught me something important today." After that, Chen Yaozi never showed off or boasted about his skill as an archer.
So that was a beautiful story which tells you that you don't need to be that think that only few people can do certain things, but the old man has taught us that anyone through practice can become excellent in any skill. Now here's another short YouTube that I would like to share with you all. So how one can become perfect. So let's see that. 1 second, just give me some time. Yeah, if this will, yes, it's only a matter of practice.
Practice makes perfect. Anything is possible through consistent practice. Or, to be good at anything, one must practice patiently. When Tom started baking for the first time, he burned all of his dishes. Nothing he made was good enough to be put out on the table, but he did not give up. He believed that practice makes perfect. He practiced every day until his pies and tarts were baked to perfection. Practice makes perfect. Anything is possible through consistent practice.
Well, that was it. So with this week, we learned that anything is possible with consistent practice. So these two videos tell us that this is not something that only a few people can achieve it, but any one of us through practice can achieve a skill which we desire, right? So with this, what we learn is that practice makes perfect, which is a popular expression, emphasizes the importance of doing something again and again until you're capable of completing the task in the best manner possible, right? Supposing if you learn from your mistakes, you will steadily improve. That means it says that you should keep on trying. Keep on trying until you're capable of completing the task in the best manner possible. So, this proverb tells us that we can achieve perfection through practice, right? So, for example, a violinist, they do not learn to play the instrument after one lesson, but keep at it, working hard and practicing daily until they master the art, right? So, this example shows that no matter what it is, for example, even then, in order to maintain their fluency, they must practice. Say, I've learned it and then I keep it aside for years together, and then after 10 years, I remove my violin, I may not be able to do. Why? For that matter, when I was very, very young, I learned to drive a scooty. But after my marriage, I stopped. And now you ask me to do it, I cannot. Because if we have to keep master that skill, we have to keep practicing it. So what this proverb tells is that you have to keep doing again and again until you are capable of completing the task, right? And you learn it perfectly. Now, the same holds true for sports people as well, not just a violinist or an archer, but it is true for anybody who would like to achieve their perfection, and this holds true even for a sports person. Say, Tendulkar became the little master only through perseverance and practicing in the nets day in and day out for many years. You must be looking at this icons and thinking, wow, luck is on them. See, they have become so great. It's not so. They are great and they are in their limelight because they're constantly practicing and updating their skill. Say, if I too stop speaking English, then I may lose my language. If I need to keep that intact, I have to keep on speaking, keep on practicing. So, anything you need to keep on practicing, right? And it further says that practice makes man perfect is applicable not just to sports, not just to archery, but it is also applicable for academics as well. Now, you remember, you see, there are some students who you often see that they're always excelling in their exam. That is because they achieve such high marks by studying and revising every day so that they have a thorough understanding of the subject. It is not that they get or they are on that high level just like that. They are putting their efforts. So remember that this proverb is here to tell you that nothing can come through shortcuts. You need to keep on practicing. You need to keep on updating your skill. If I want to be a good teacher, I need to keep on updating my skill. Only then I will be remembered as a good teacher. Otherwise, I cannot maintain that, right? So only through regular practice can we all become perfect or proficient in something, right? So, and further, thus, this proverb says that man has to practice regularly in order to learn anything perfectly. So nothing comes in shortcut way. So remember, students who try to excel their exams through copying or through shortcut means their permanence is not there. Only a person who keeps on working on it, their skill is updated, right? So man has to practice regularly in order to learn anything perfectly, right? In order to practice regularly, what is it that you need? You need to have lots of patience, dedication, and willpower. Great people are not great just like that because they keep practicing for whatever they are great with lots of patience, lots of dedication, and willpower. If you think the Mukesh Ambani is on top, it is not just like that. He is practicing his skill of business entrepreneurship every day to keep himself on that top mark, right? So you need lots of patience, you need lots of dedication, you need lots of willpower. In other words, to do certain activities, man has to concentrate his mind, soul, and body at one place uniformly to achieve certain requirements more smoothly and more satisfactorily, right? Even if you think that Amitabh Bachchan is a superstar even till today, he keeps on practicing, right? So practice is something that you need to keep on. Now, even before I could record this video, we have been recording this video for so many days, but believe me, I will not record unless I practice it twice. So practice is something that brings the perfection out of you. Further, without firm determination, no one can successfully involve in the regular practice. So what you have to do is that you have to keep practicing. In order to continue the practice, one needs to have hope. One needs to have patience, faith, and confidence with positive thinking, even during their low phases of life. Now, sometimes when you're practicing, you may fail. You may come across lots of failures, but what you need to have at that time is that patience, faith, and confidence with positive thinking. If you take the example of Amitabh Bachchan, he was rejected 14 times before he became a superstar. He kept on practicing his skill. He kept on trying with his skill. So that is what you need. You need to have patience. You need to have confidence, and you need to have the positive attitude in you so that you can achieve it. And this all can be achieved through practice. So there's a beautiful example that I would like to share with you in the mythology that it speaks about a great archer who's called as Ekalavya, who deeply desired to study under Dronacharya. But because he belonged to a low class, Dronacharya denied to teach him the art of archery. However, his resolute determination helped him, and he learned the art of archery very well after years of practice in front of his master's idol. He would watch his master teaching the other people, and he would go stand in front of his idol and practice. So that is the determination, that is the practice that you need to achieve any skill. And it is also said that over the following years that he practiced with sincerity, he learned the archery so well that he became better than the state princes who really had a first-hand learning from the Guru Dronacharya. He became so good at it that he would hear the sound of the animal and shoot an arrow at it and claim the animal. So see, Drona Ekalavya's example tells us that you don't need a teacher. Anything that you can do with great determination, that you do with great practice, right? You can achieve in your life. And this further tells us that, this example further tells us that practice is like an exercise. It is like a mantra for us, which brings our physical and mental entities at one path of required frequency and leads us towards perfection slowly but surely. It is like an exercise. You exercise, then your body is fully trimmed. You stop your exercise, then you will go out of shape. So it is like a mantra which you have to keep chanting again and again. And that it tells that anyone can achieve his or her goal slowly, but definitely if he or she goes with the planned practice, right? And so what it says that anyone, whether it is he or she, can achieve their goal definitely if he or she go with the planned practice, right? Ambitious people do hard practices to see their ambitions fulfilled, but never supposed to defeat. So don't get carried away that these people are lucky that they are on the top. They are not on the top just like that. They are on the top because they practice. They keep a consistent practice in whatever skill they are good at. If Amitabh Bachchan is good at its skill, It's because of his consistent practice. If Sachin Tendulkar was in the field for so many years, it is because of his constant practice. If a politician is in politics for so many years, because of his constant practice of whatever skill he is having. If I, as a teacher, am still able to teach after so many years, it is because of the constant practice. So remember, students, nothing with shortcut can bring you anything in your life. All you have to do is that your constant practice is what makes you what you are, right? So it says that, uh, so what are the advantages of practice? Why should we practice, right? The advantage is that practice indeed is the best tool which we can use to sharpen our abilities and capabilities beyond our capacities in the pursuit of the goal. It is only when you practice you will tap into the exact potentials that you have. You will not know what potentials you have unless you learn to practice to achieve that skill, that you will realize that you have such great potential in you. It helps people to awaken their lethargic potential by inducing confidence level. We can achieve anything and reach to the unreachable heights in our life through practice. So this is what is the advantage of practice. It prepares us to go in right direction and sharpen our abilities to face challenges and win. So what it says is that, what is the advantage? It awakens their lethargic potential by inducing confidence level. We can achieve anything and reach to unreachable heights in our life through practice. It prepares us to go in right direction and sharpen our abilities to face challenge and win that challenge, right? Now, here are some examples that I would like to share about people who did not give up in their goals but went on practicing. One such example is of Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is that man who has invented light bulb. You know, before he could invent his light bulb, what was it that went in what might be at once the most discouraging statement and worst teaching practice of all times? Thomas Edison was told by his teachers that he was too stupid to learn anything, but his mother did not give up. She encouraged her son to practice whatever he believed in. And today, it is because of his belief, because of his practice, that he invented the bulb that has changed the whole mankind's perception towards life. So Edison may just hold the record for most failed attempts before reaching success on a single project, right? So, he has invented this bulb, but he has failed 10,000 times. And when people said, we give up for third time, fourth time, fifth time, we give up. But 10,000 times he did not give up. He went on practicing his ideas. And he said he did not fail. He said, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. So that was his dedication, right? Then you have this Oprah Winfrey, who is a anchor. Now, today she is a billionaire with her own TV channel, and a pension who for giving away cars, right? She is a pension for giving away a cars. Now, Winfrey was fired from her first TV job as an anchor. She said she's fit for nothing, but she did not give up. She went on practicing the skill that she's good at, and today she has her own channel. Now we have another player who achieved success. Michael Jordan's coach made a huge mistake in cutting Michael Jordan from his high school basketball team. Ball team. Now, when he was not selected, he did not give up. He kept on practicing his skill that he was good at. And believe me, later on, he won six championships and five MVPs later. And Jordan became arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. So see, this proverb tells us that never give up even if failures hit your face. Keep on trying at the skill that you have faith in. Jordan very famously said, I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. On 26 occasions, I have been entrusted to take the game-winning shot and I missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeeded. See, he did not give up. He kept on his practice, and that is why he succeeded. So, the above examples show that there is no alternate to the hard work and success. Remember, nothing, no shortcuts for your success. You need to practice. You need to put in your effort. We must have to practice in the particular field on a regular basis in which we want to succeed. And he says, nobody can perform well in his field if he does not practice on regular basis. If we do not practice on regular basis, we cannot perform. If I stop teaching and after 10 years want to teach, I may not have the same perfection. To keep on, I have to keep on teaching, right? So only continuous practice, a man can achieve his target and succeed in his particular field. So remember, students, if you want success, keep on practicing. If you feel that you have succeeded and you stop practicing, then your downfall is for sure. If you want to remain on that position, then you have to keep on practicing. And great people are still in that position because they keep on practicing the skill that they are good at. Therefore, practice is the most important thing. Action performed with proper planning and regular practice leads a person towards perfect performance. I repeat, action performed with proper planning and regular practice leads a person towards perfect performance. So this is what I have to say about practice makes perfect. Now we'll move on to the next uh, proverb that says that necessity is the mother of invention. Now you must have heard about this also. Now, this proverb, before I can go ahead, let me say that this quote, that necessity is mother of invention, was a quote quoted by Plato. Now, he said, a need or problem encourages creative efforts to meet the need or solve the problem. This saying appears in the Dialogue Republic by the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. So he was the first person to coin this phrase. And this phrase also further says that inventiveness and ingenuity are stimulated by difficulty. I repeat, inventiveness and ingenuity are stimulated by difficulty. For example, the first prisoner to tie together bed sheets to escape knew that necessity was the mother of invention. You know, with bed sheets he tied, you know, when you want to get out desperately from something, men try to think out of the box and find out a way. So this proverb first appeared in English in 1519 in slightly different form, that is, need taught him wit, and exists in many other languages as well. So the English proverb, necessity is the mother of invention, means that when you have to complete a task, right, you have absolutely no choice but to complete a task, then you will think in radical, new, out of box ways to attempt to solve your problem. Because of necessity, you're forced into finding or creating solutions, right? So to prove this statement, I would like to share a video with you all, right? So let's watch this video. Okay. Mm, I don't know whether, yeah, let's watch this video.
Proverb: necessity is the mother of invention. Adapted from Aesop's fable. Meaning of the proverb: used to say that new ways to do things are found or created when there is a strong and special need for them, or You can also say, when the need for something becomes essential, you are forced to find ways of getting or achieving it. The Thirsty Crow is a reference story from Aesop's fable, which will help you understand the meaning of this proverb.
Let's revive our old kindergarten memories through this short story on the crow and the pitcher. It was a hot summer day. A crow felt thirsty, and he flew off in search of water. He flew all around, but could not find any water. He felt thirstier, and was tired as well. Suddenly, he saw a pitcher in the garden. He flew down to it, but was saddened to see very little water in it. He tried to drink it, but his beak could not reach it. He looked around, and saw some pebbles, scattered here and there. He hit upon a great idea. He started picking the pebbles, and dropped them one by one into the pitcher. Gradually the water level rose to the point where his beak could reach. The crow drank the cool water from the pitcher, and flew away, crowing happily. His wisdom saved him from dying of thirst.
Okay, so you have seen that the desperate need to quench the thirst, the crow had to look out for ways, and it thought out of the box, and it saw that there were certain pebbles, and it thought, okay, let me try this. And she put the pebbles in the water came up to the to a level where the beak could reach. It drank the water and went away. So necessity makes us invent or discover new things or new ideas, right? So let's go back to our so this proverb says that, see, necessity is the mother of invention, and that when you have to complete a task and you have absolutely no choice but to complete a task, then you will think in radical, new, out of box ways to attempt to solve your problem. Because of necessity, you're forced into finding or creating solutions, right? Now, the meaning of the proverb is self-evident. We invent what we need. Unless we feel the pressure of need, we are not likely to invent anything. So just now we have seen the fable of the thirsty crow, who, because of necessity, looked here and there and collected the pebbles and threw them into the jar to raise the level of water to the bird's reach of lips, is a well-known best example that unless we feel the pressure of need, we are not likely to think out of the box or invent something that we want, right? Now, look at this picture. Now they have only one cycle. They don't have the money to buy a car or anything. So the necessity that so many people had to travel from one place to another, they have invented this new novel way where on a one cycle, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people can go together. So, necessity is the mother of invention, contains the real fact of human living and experiences through the journey of life. Without need, the invention would not be formed. There must have been a strong need over here, and that is how this invention has come up, right? So without need, the invention would not be possible, and without invention, life would not be so easy and comfortable as it is in today's current time. So history of human beings since starting includes unlimited inventions in different form, whether it was the creation of fire or the achievement of walking on the moon. So what it tries to tell is that history tries to tell us that we have achieved so many inventions, so many things have come into life today, which has brought in a lot of convenience to us, is because of the necessity, right? And from starting from the invention of fire to walking in the moon was only because of necessity. We wanted to know, because people thought the earth is becoming full. Can we find, today still even research is still going on, can we find another planet where it is possible for human beings to live, right? So that is what it is all about. So necessity has always inspired humans to invent something for better living, right? Without invention, we cannot even imagine our world. What would it be, right? In the long past, in the ages preceding Stone Age, man invented things out of stone, such as crude weapons, utensils, home, etc. He invented fire when he felt the need. He invented wheel when he felt the need to move, right? He invented clothes when he felt he wanted to cover from different seasons. He invented machines, super machines, computers, supercomputers, rockets, bullets, nukes, defense, shields, jets, electric cars, nuclear reactors, and almost everything he felt was the strong need of. So, the strong need was something that led to so many inventions. So, these are the great examples of great inventions. Now, I would like to share some great inventions that were invented out of necessity. Now, look at this. The Wright brothers, right? The Wright brothers, that is Orville and Wilbur, right? Orville born in August 1987, 1871, and Wilbur was born on April 16th, 1867. Now, they are the two brothers, American aviation pioneers, generally credited with inventing, building, and flying the world's first successful motor operated airplane. Now, they thought, why can't we fly from the birds? And don't you think this has changed the whole view? Today, in minutes, we can be from one end of the world to another world. How the invention of aeroplanes has shrunk the world into a small family, right? Anytime, anywhere, we can move. Well, it had its side, the invention also has its worst effect, and the present example of we living in this pandemic is because of these aeroplanes. From China, it could spread to the rest of the world because people could travel easily to different parts of the world carrying this virus. And so today we are under this great pandemic, right? So these Wright brothers have invented this great invention. Definitely, it has a lot of advantages than disadvantages. Next is Thomas Edison. As I told you earlier, I've given this example. Now, imagine what would the world be without a light bulb? How we would be, right? So it was necessity to even carry on our work during the dark period. In a day, half of the time we experience darkness. So he wanted to see, why can't the sunlight remain even in the dark phase? So Thomas Edison is credited with the invention of such as the first practical incandescent light bulb and the phonograph. He also is famous for having about 1,000 patents for his invention. So, this was a necessity because once it was 6 o'clock, people felt it difficult to move about. And he thought, why can't I do something that we can even move about even after it falls dark? And that necessity led to the invention of light bulb. Another great invention that has changed the whole world was this telephone. Alexander Graham Bell was a Scottish born inventor, scientist, and engineer who is credited with inventing and patenting the first practical telephone. Just imagine, what would it be without a telephone? With this telephone, even on the road, if we are in a desert, we are able to communicate with people, right? So this is, today it has made a modern version of it, so we are able to do. So telephone was to talk to people who were far away yet keep in touch. And this is later on, this telephone was, they progressed it more, and they brought another invention was made by Martin Cooper, the engineer from Motorola, who developed the first handheld phone today, which we call it as mobile phone, cell phone, whatever you name it. And it has changed the whole perception of the world, right? Do you know that the first cell phone weighed over a kilogram and was affectionately known as the brick? It was as heavy as the brick, but it quickly became a must have accessory for wealthy finances and entrepreneurs. Today, it is every one of us. We can live, I think, without oxygen for a minute, but we cannot live without our cell phones. That is the invention, how necessity makes us invent so many things. And look at this, another great invention that we have. This is a invention by Philo Taylor Fan, who invented television. And with this television, today we have so many things that have come out. Now, he was just 14 years. Taylor Farnworth was just 14 years when he had the idea that he would shape the rest of his life, right? So on August 26, 1930, he received a patent for the first totally electronic television system, about a decade after first having the idea that underlaid his invention. And this television today is made lots of changes, and it has come into our lives into the form of a computer. And during this pandemic, if we are still able to communicate and teach, it is because of this beautiful invention, that is the computer. And Charles Babbage, an English mechanical engineer, a polymath, originated the concept of programmable computer, and he is considered the father of computer. He conceptualized and invented the first mechanical computer in the early 19th century. So all this have come out of necessity, right? And the most important invention or discovery, or whatever you name it today, which we are undergoing, is to find a vaccine for this deadly virus that has caused a havoc throughout the world. The pandemic that we are still under, under whose grip we are, and still we are locked in our rooms, in our houses, not able to move out, not able to travel. So now the necessity is come so fast that people say it is impossible to get a vaccine with such a short time. But necessity can make you invent anything, and researchers and scientists are working at frantic speed to find a vaccine for the infectious disease that have expressed hope. Nearly 146 vaccines are on clinical trials, and maybe probably by the end of this year or next year, after clinical trials at Oxford University, which is producing a vaccine. uh, just I read that Russia is going to start from 12th August. So we don't know. The necessity can make us bring revolutions. Maybe in 1 year we can find a vaccine, right? So these are only a few illustrations to prove that from the very beginning of human life, that man has been making inventions and discoveries out of sheer necessity. Hence, we recognize necessity for the progress of human race, right? These examples show that the primary driving force for most new inventions is a need. You need a primary driving force to invent something. So when faced with a necessity, one is likely to be inspired to create a novel or ingenious solution. Now, here I would like to again share a video with you all, where how necessity is very important for us. So just give me some time. Um, okay. Okay, this is over. Sorry. Yeah. Just give me a second. I will see that. play the
Nation, today's message is necessity is the mother of invention.
Ways of getting
Over to you, Robert Noyce.
The Thirsty Crow is a reference story from Aesop's fable,
1 second.
which will help you understand the meaning of this proverb.
Let's revive our old kindergarten memories through this short story on the crow
Just
and
give
the
me a
pitcher.
second. I have
It
a
was
small
a hot summer
technical
day.
problem.
A crow felt thirsty, and he flew off in search of water. He flew all around, but could not find any water. He felt thirstier
Just give me a
and was
second.
tired as well. Suddenly, he saw a pitcher in the garden. He flew down to it, but was saddened to see very little water in it. He tried to drink it, but his beak could not reach it. He looked around and saw some pebbles scattered here and there. He hit upon a great idea. He started picking the pebbles and dropped them one by one into the pitcher. Gradually, the water level rose to the point where his beak could reach. The crow drank the cool water from the pitcher and flew away, crowing happily. His wisdom saved him from dying of thirst.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There was some technical problem. So now let us watch this and get going.
I wake up every morning with espresso.
Is the mother of invention. Over to you, Robert Noyce.
I wake up every morning with espresso. Keep me going.
Necessity, they say, is the mother of invention. We have a lot of necessity in our society today. And I think the time is here for inventing new approaches, new solutions to these various problems, so that we can indeed maintain America, and indeed the rest of the world as well, as the land of opportunity for all of those who will be the achievers of the future.
I love this message, and one that I can really resonate with, because as entrepreneurs, we solve problems. That's what we do. That's what we're good at, right? There's a problem, there's something that needs to be solved, and we are the ones who fill that void, who solve the problem for ourselves and for our clients. And we need to be creative and different and think outside the box and come up with a solution that hasn't been offered before. We're trying to make our name in the marketplace. We're trying to stand out from our competitors, and it's going to come from doing things that are different. And quite often it comes from scratching your own itch, from having a problem in your life that you solve for yourself and then sell it to others. Because if you're having that problem, chances are other people are as well. It can be something as little as, I wanted a t-shirt about the little man. And so I made this. This came out of a creation. This is something that J. Rice helped me design. I wanted to have a different background here in the wall. My old videos used to be me on a white background just against my wall. And I thought, you know what? I got to have some branding on it. So I painted the wall black, and I got this huge sticker made of my logo, and I put the BTA calendar on here, right? And that served the purpose. Those are all small examples. We go a little bit bigger. Why did I create the Espresso series? Why did I create the Top 10 series? Because I needed it, because it was selfish, because I was scratching my own itch, because nobody else had done anything close, and I needed to start my day with some people to push me to think bigger and be the best version of myself. So that's why I started it, and I'm sharing it with you guys, and you're enjoying it as well. And so look at the biggest problems that you're facing in your life. Look at the problems of the people around you and start solving them. That could be a potential business for you. Necessity is the mother of invention. Entrepreneurs are the people who are going to solve the little problems in the world and the big problems of the world. You want to solve world peace. You want to solve the economy. You want to solve major diseases. You want to solve humanitarian issues. It's all going to be, in my view, through entrepreneurship. So the question of the day today is, I want to...
So, okay, that was it. That beautiful message that he has given. I'm sorry for the slight technical glitch that I had in between, that another video had run over for some time. But yes, I could come across with the message. So that was the message that he's trying to give, is that only not just that the dire consequences need that you need to invent some things. But yes, if you want to give something better to the world, if you want to solve any problem, then you have to think out of the box, and that is your necessity, and then your invention is followed. So with this two beautiful values, that is practice make perfect, and necessity is the mother of invention. This is prescribed for you all because you all are youngsters, and that anything you want to achieve in your life, you need to think out of the box, and what is necessity, and from that necessity you can bring some really new inventions, and that to achieve that you need to go on practicing, because only practice can make you perfect and make you reach the goal. So with this, I end my class today. Stay safe, stay home, and wear your mask. If you have to go out, maintain distance. Thank you very much for listening to me.